What's up everybody, Lee here, and welcome back to another video. First things first, that introduction, I am really proud of it. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I think that that's a lot better than just using the standard in-game cutscene that starts whenever you first play the game. But that's just me. I know I still have a lot to learn, but I really enjoyed it. First things first, I do want to talk about a couple of things. Supernova Difficulty, I don't necessarily know if I explained it all too well. Of course, I will leave a description of everything that the game changes, but most notably, the three little bars in the top left-hand corner that I'll zoom into: hunger, thirst, and how tired you are. Essentially, it's kind of like any other game. If you don't eat, if you don't sleep, if you don't drink, your skills will deteriorate to the point to where you kind of just, die. Of course, we don't want that. It's just a little extra challenge that I like to put on myself. Another thing, gun durability. The shotgun here, if you look at it, you'll see a little flashing red bar below of a gun. This gun's durability is terrible. In essence, the gun is terrible as well. Until we can repair it, it's practically useless. And the last thing, companions. The best game feature, I think. Companions, I love them. They will die permanently. So until I can kind of get a sense of what I'm really facing, I will not be using them. They will stay on the ship because I don't want them to die. Though, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the video. If you like the introduction, let me know. If not, well, I guess we'll find out. But let's go ahead and start. I really appreciate y'all, and let's get going.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Well, I think you got it all wrong.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Well, there we go. We are now officially in the game. We can do whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want it. Well, for the most part, of course. Though our main destination right now is Edgewater. You can see it off into the distance right there, so there's not really much else to tell, so without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and let's get to our destination. So, not even 100 meters away from our ship, we have ran into the first of many enemies that are sure to come. So, I'm just going to go ahead and stop talking and let's take these guys out. Well, there we go. 3 enemies down out of the probably thousands that are to come. So I'm going to go ahead and grab what loot I can, and then I will skip to whenever we arrive in Edgewater. So now that Edgewater is only a close distance away, we're going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to interrupt again, just to say, hey, if you're watching this, I really do appreciate it. This only being my second video, I still don't necessarily have that much to talk about, though I hope coming up it'll be more than me just incoherently mumbling to my screen for 15 minutes or so. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and skip to Edgewater now, finally, after I go ahead and talk to this man right here. So after talking to Silas, we find out as the local Inhumer, or better known as the local gravedigger, we figure out that Edgewater, or Spacer's Choice, is charging their residents for their grave sites. Why are they doing that? Well, the simple answer is corporate greed. And what do I know that answer? Well, I worked for Walmart. I know a little bit of corporate greed whenever I see it. But I promise Walmart is a wonderful place to work, and again, I am not being paid to say that. But anyway, back on task, we have a brand new task. Hey, look at that. But our task is to collect 4 payments from 4 local individuals who were overdue on their gravesite fees. However, we are not going to do this. We want to focus on the main task to find the power regulator. Now, why do we want to focus on that? Well, the main reason being is that we are on Supernova Difficulty. We are not able to rest until we find that power regulator, mostly because we cannot sleep in any other bed that is not ours. The only bed that we have access to is the bed in the captain's quarters, which is sealed off since we do not have the power regulator. As a matter of fact, all of the rooms in the ship are closed because we don't have the power regulator. The shotgun and the assault rifle that I found in the ship, of course, were given to us for free, which is the main reason why I have them, are probably the only freebies that we are going to get right now, unless we get the power regulator. So, to get the power regulator, we essentially have to do the main quest, which is why we cannot get sidetracked on filling out any quests that are not essential to us getting this power regulator. And I really want to focus on that, mostly because we are playing in Supernova difficulty. These bars will run out if we idle around, which I don't want to do any longer than I have to. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and head straight for this power regulator so we can sleep in a nice and soft bed even if it is the death of us, which it probably will be. Enemies hit like a truck, either they chunk away at your health or they just kill you in one shot. Again, I know this because I've messed around with this off video, and trust me, it is hard. Do we want to do a no death run? Maybe, maybe not. Will it be hell? Of course. Well, it's going to be hell either way, but it's going to be a fun time. Will it be a fun time whenever I die over and over again? Probably not, but it's going to be a fun time nevertheless. I've already entered into the idle animation. I don't want to be doing this any longer than I have to. So let us go ahead and enter Edgewater. Let us find this power regulator and let us rest in a comfy bed, even if it is the death of us. So let's go.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this with less of the grease monkey, Argo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Are you Reed? I was told I needed to talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Frying myself?
Oh yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I don't think these people will take too kindly to this.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Tell me what I need to do.
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
So, there we go, folks. We have our first companion, and we have our first lead in getting this power regulator. So a lot of things will be happening over the next few videos, a lot of very important things that I am glad to be filming. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and head down this elevator, and let's get to it. So folks, that is the end of the video for today. I know that it's rather abruptly cut off, but there is a good reason for that. We have just unlocked the main area in Emerald Vale, and we have the whole map to explore now. Of course, I want to save this for the next video, and we have had a major insight in finding this power regulator. This is what we are going to be focusing on for the next couple of, really, days, because it's going to take me a while to edit, to add voiceover, and to do a whole bunch of stuff to my videos that I really don't know how to do. But with all that being said, like, subscribe, comment. I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy you folks that watch this, and have a good night.